All right, we are going to be making boba today. Let's get right into it. Timestamps are in the description box if you want to skip around. So first we're going to make a syrup. You always want to use a 1-to-1 ratio. We're going to start out by making a brown sugar syrup, and then we're going to switch over to regular granulated sugar. You guys can make this with Splenda. You're just going to have to whisk it a little bit more. Be creative. Play around with it. So brown sugar syrup, we're going to do 1 part brown sugar. I have about a cup here, 1 cup of water. I'm using my vintage glass of Visionware here. My mom used to cook with these. I love these so much. You get to see the food cook. It's fun. So we're going to stir this around. We want that sugar to completely dissolve into the water. It's pretty thin. We want it to thicken up. It's not going to become like pancake syrup, but we can get it thicker. This is going to help infuse the boba. As you can see, all the sugar has dissolved. Turn my flash off so you guys can see it a little bit better, because with it on, it's kind of hard to see. But still too thin. We need to thicken it a bit more. So we're going to let that reduce down. Again, I turned my flash off so you guys could see that. And there we go. It's going to start bubbling and become quite a bit thicker. Yeah, there we go. You're not really going to see it thicken much until it cools down. But there we go. That's about what it looks like for me. That's my preference. And we're going to let that cool off. And we're going to make a pumpkin spice one. I love these skinny syrups or 0 carbs. I'm going to throw in some of this fresh honey my friend Penny brought us. Again, we're going to do 1-to-1. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water. You can make as much or as little as you want. I'm playing around here. In this recipe, I did do a tablespoon of honey. And it worked out really well. But again, put in whatever you like. And I'm going to use this flavor. I think it's the pumpkin caramel scone. I'm going to do 4 tablespoons. This worked out really well. Again, if you want more flavor, add more. You do you. This is all just fun. I'm showing you guys the basics of making boba. And again, we need to get the sugar to dissolve down into the water. And there we go. We're going to reduce that down till it's thick and bubbly. I do like to use silicone kitchen tools for this. I think metal would be messy. And we're going to let those cool off. As you can see, it still looks thin, but it hasn't completely cooled off. The first syrup we made, the brown sugar, see as it cools, it gets a little bit thicker. That's what we want. Yeah. All right, let's get into making the boba. Boba comes in many different flavors. These are available online. I got these at my local Asian market. I'll leave a link down below for those. This is a non-flavored one, but it's rainbow colored, which is fun. I picked up a green tea flavor one and the classic black sugar, black boba. And I got just a plain original because I have some ideas you're going to see later on in the video. So we're going to start out with these 2 plain ones, I think, but pretty much we're going to be cooking them all. Just stay tuned. Again, you can skip around in the video if you want to. Remember, these cook fast. This one says 3 minutes and that one says 5 minutes. Pay attention to that. All right, you want to go ahead and have your water boiling. We are ready. See that? We are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start with the black sugar flavor. You don't have to measure these. You can make as much or as little as you like. And I'm just showing you guys what those look like here. And there we go. As you can see, they're coated in probably cornstarch to keep them from sticking together. That is going to boil off. You do want to make sure you have some cold water ready to go on the side. I have this nifty little spatula and it works perfect for scooping out the boba. All right, there we go. I'm going to start with the rainbow. I apologize that there's steam, but you'll see a better shot here in just a moment. And these are so fun. And there is the side view. Now, these are going to start popping up pretty quickly. When they start floating, they are pretty much done, you guys. But what I like to do is put the lid on, and I like to cook them for about 30 seconds to a minute more. I don't like mine mushy. I do like mine to have, of course, that little bit of boba chew. And how fun are these? I loved watching these cook. They reminded me of little marshmallows. So pretty too. But pretty much, yeah, 30 seconds to a minute. Then I take the lid off, and you can go ahead and test one to make sure, you know, it's the texture that you like. Once you cook these for a while and you become familiar with them, you'll know what you like. But I was just testing that, and we need to go ahead and pull these out. And we're going to go ahead and put them in that ice bath. We want them to stop cooking immediately. Again, we don't want mushy boba. There we go. We're going to let those swim around for a minute as I fish all of these out. Traditional boba does take longer. I've seen videos where people cook them for 15 to 30 minutes. Guys, don't do that with these. It's not necessary. These are definitely fast cooking boba. And can we just stop and appreciate the gorgeous rainbow pearls? Look at them. You're going to want to drain them and set them aside in an airtight container, unless you plan on using them all at one time. Then you can just put them in a container. So satisfying once they're cooked. They're just so pretty and shiny. And there we go. There is a boba shot for you guys. That is pretty. Perfect for parties, birthday parties. Okay, so here's the black sugar one. I want to show you guys what those look like, because when these cook up and the cornstarch is removed, it is literally like little treasure pearls. I'm showing you, it's still got the cornstarch on, but don't worry, that's gonna come off. And as you can see, as those start to pop up, that's your key. Don't walk away from this. It's gonna happen quickly. And as they start to float, I know it's time to go ahead and put that lid on. There we go. And again, about 30 seconds to a minute. I kind of know by looking at them the texture that I like them to be. There we go. Just kind of giving you guys a side view of those cooking. These almost look like blueberries boiling down to me. There we go. And it was that easy. So we're going to go ahead and pull these, and look how pretty they are. I was showing you, make sure to turn your heat off. And just showing that you do want to go ahead and test them for texture. These are good to go. And they're going to go swimming for just a minute there. They really do look like blueberries, don't they? So awesome. It reminds me of large caviar. Not that I've ever been fancy or had any, but that's what it looks like. There we go. Just want to make sure you get all of those out. And look how gorgeous and shiny. Yes, perfect boba at home. We don't need to go spend $8 on a boba drink. Guys, look at that. They literally glitter and shine. So pretty, so easy. You guys can do this at home. Thank you for voting for this video and letting me make this for you guys. This was so fun. We've made boba at home for years. It is so easy. Making the syrup is more time consuming than the boba. So I'm going to show you guys how to color yours naturally. Here I have some blue butterfly pea flower, and I thought, why not? Let's do it. I put about a tablespoon in to the water. You could do a little less water if you wanted to. This was purely experimental. I had never done this before. You do want to make sure you whisk that up pretty well. It does try to clump up. You'll see some in the water later on, but hey, I'm not perfect. And we're going to use those original plain ones so it can really try to absorb that color. And I'm kind of just testing to see, and they're already taking on a purplish color. This was so fun, you guys. It reminded me of like a Halloween witch's brew. I think it would be perfect for that. And just loving that color. And again, just continuing to watch that brew down. And we're going to go ahead and pull these. Look at that. I love the color that those came out. I think they're just perfect for Halloween. Love, love, love that. No, nothing artificial to color those. So, you know, you can use beetroot powder. You can just go crazy. Do what you want to do. But I'm just giving you guys some ideas here. Love how those came out. Now, in case you're like me and you have food coloring, you can definitely use that as well. So here I'm going to try to make orange to replicate little pumpkins. You want to use more yellow than red. Just a few boop boop in there is going to be fine. Mix that up and it came out a really wonderful orange. I was trying to show you there. It was hard to capture that in my kitchen. And again, we're going to use those original boba since they're plain and white in color and try to get them to absorb some of the food coloring. I'm not a fan of using this much food coloring, but it works, and I wanted to show you guys some options there. And look, it worked wonderfully. I was getting really excited. They look like little pumpkins floating around in there. So awesome. It'd be great for fall too. Just fall, Thanksgiving, whatever, if you're going to have a little party. These are fun. And you can color whatever you like. I think if you tried gel food coloring, it would give you a more intense color. If you guys tried that, comment down below and let me know. But I'm just doing the same thing here. Testing them and pulling them out, putting them in the ice bath. And I start to notice that they're not as orange as I want them to be. They kind of remind me of Kix cereal, if you guys remember that. And I wanted them to be pretty vibrant. So this reminds me of macaroni. We're not quite there. So I have an idea. I'm going to go ahead and pull those out and try to directly color them. Again, I'm not a fan of using that much food coloring, but we got to do what we got to do. So I'm going to just add some directly onto the boba to get the visual effect. And it actually worked out wonderful. Look at that. Now, I did end up draining off the excess food coloring, but that's what I'm going for. You have lots of options here. And I still use candles. I'm loving these Glade pumpkin spice candles. You guys know me for my candle videos. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Okay, so we're going to put our syrup onto our boba. Here I've got my brown sugar syrup going onto the black boba. And this is going to infuse the boba with flavor. You want to make sure you stir this around. They try to stick together until they're in the syrup. So you want to kind of break them up and really get those mixed in so we can get the maximum flavor out of them. How gorgeous are these? Once they're in the syrup, they do not stick at all. They are luscious. Now, if you're going to refrigerate these later on, just heat them up in their microwave to re-soften them just for a few seconds. And that's not supposed to be in there. And here we're using our pumpkin spice flavoring syrup. And I'm just going to mix those around again. See how they'll try to stick together, but then once they're in the syrup, they free up nicely. I really love how these came out. Look at that. This just reminds me of confetti birthday cake for some reason. All right, here are our other two boba that we made, and we're going to go ahead and infuse those with syrup as well. I just wanted to show off those colors to you guys. They came out really well. Same thing here, just pouring the syrup over them. I do see videos where people try to flavor them later on. To me, that's not effective. I mean, there's no right or wrong way. You do you, but I find that this flavors the boba much better. And this is more traditional of how they flavor boba anyway. So you have lots of options here. These are so gorgeous, you guys. So delicious. And I can't wait to show you guys how we're going to put all these drinks together. So just know you have tons and tons of options, okay? Get crazy with it, y'all. And just showing you to use a silicone pad if you do decide to cook in a glass pot like that. And I bet you're wondering what happened to those green tea boba. Well, I didn't forget. I am making a little something special for you guys. I am going to use my jade leaf matcha. to flavor a simple syrup. And it was new. I basically winged it. I tried it. The key points to this, if you're going to make this, is definitely whisk it up very, very, very well. As you know, matcha likes to clump up. So there was quite a bit of whisking. But as you're going to see when it goes on the stove, it's just like when you are trying to cook flour out, how flour will try to rise, or if you if you fry things, flour will tend to expand. Well, that's what this matcha was doing. It does need to cook out. I actually had to pull it off the heat so it didn't boil over. It will eventually cook out the matcha powder and it will kind of settle down a bit. So don't walk away from any of this. Disclaimer, just don't. But it did eventually calm down, and as you can see, it started to reduce nicely. Do not overcook this. This one, I only cooked for 4 or 5 minutes. I didn't want it to get bitter. There are those green tea pearls. I'm going to go ahead and cook those up. And these were so fun, but wait until you see how they turn out. The water is kind of deceiving because they turn out so beautiful, you guys. At this point, I was becoming a matcha pro. Just showing you guys how it looked. Again, I did not cook this one long. I didn't want that matcha to get a bitter flavor. And look at that. It reminded me of Franken brains. I think this would be perfect for Christmas if you mix them in with red, or even for St. Patrick's Day. I love these. They actually had a slight floral taste to them as well. Just a little bit. But they were green tea flavored. So good. I loved how these came out. I hope you guys are getting lots of ideas for putting your own recipes together. And look at that. I don't know why there's one weird one, but we're not judging it. So gorgeous. I love it. And I just wanted to show you guys the vibrancy of that. And I'm going to go ahead and mix in my matcha syrup. I did wait until it cooled down, and I'm showing you it didn't get as thick because we didn't get to reduce it down. We didn't want it to get bitter, but it still worked. So you have some room to play there. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to mix it around. And as you can see, there's a trend, there's a concept. It's easy. Once you learn how to flavor boba, you can just use your imagination, guys, and get crazy. Let's go ahead and put these together. Let's start with our recipes, okay? So the first one is Thai tea. This is the classic milky boba tea. And traditional milky tea is basically a tea with some type of dairy. It's very popular that they mix Coffee Mate, the powdered creamer, into it. That's what a lot of those boba packets are. But pretty much you're going to just use a tea and some type of dairy. So we're going to put our boba in the bottom. We're going to pop in our ice. And after we let that Thai tea sit for about 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and pour that in. It is very orange. Very orange. And I am using Silk Vanilla Almond Creamer. You can use any dairy of your choosing. It's going to look weird for a second, but don't worry. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mix that bad boy up. Already looking awesome. And swirl, swirl, swirl. And look at that. Tell me that is not the perfect fall looking drink, you guys. She is so cute with her little dark boba at the bottom. And this was super easy once you get the hang of it. Yep, classic boba. You can add as many or as little as you want. That's our Thai boba. We're going to move on into a peach cream. I found this on Amazon. It is by Q Bubble. It is a popular bubble tea mix, and you want to use 3 tablespoons per 5 ounce, and it's only got 4.7 carbs. Not all of their mixes are like that, but this peach one was. It had a nice juicy peach flavor or scent to it, aroma. I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 tablespoons of powder in there. It was kind of an artificial peach, but I wasn't mad about it. It smelled awesome, like peach gummy rings. And I'm going to put in 5-6 ounces of water, and then we're going to mix this up. That is from Hario. It's from a matcha set, like a glass mixing set I bought. That's the only place I've ever seen that whisk, but man, I love that whisk. So you just want to mix it up. You can do this in a matcha or like a protein shaker bottle as well. Whatever you got. Use what you got. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that up really, really well. And it does get pretty frothy. There we go. That's what it looks like. So good already. So I've got my ice in. Probably should have put the boba first, but I was really tired. It was about 105 degrees. While filming this and standing over the stove, I was getting pretty tired. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Plop in your boba. Then we're going to put in our Q bubble. I felt like, oh, look at the boba already. I felt like this would have been really good with some whipped cream on top. So feel free to add whatever you wanted to your boba. And here is a special boba straw. I'll leave a link down below for a boba straw for you guys. I picked those up at my Asian market. But there she is. It was that easy to make a peach boba. So, so cute. Now we're going to get to my favorite. How about a pumpkin spice boba? We're going to start with that David's Tea Classic Pumpkin Chai. Look at it. I'm not a huge David's Tea fan, but I'll give them credit where they're due. I do love their pumpkin chai. You want to make sure that this is very concentrated. That is the key, is you want a lot of flavor because we're adding ice and we're going to add dairy to it or cream. So I'm just kind of putting that in there. I'm not adding a whole bunch of water. I want to make a super flavorful concentrate, if I can talk. All right, so we're going to use my pumpkin spice pearls. I decided to do the rainbow pearls. I thought those would look really cool in there, and they're so pretty. And we're going to put our ice over, and once that tea steeps 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and pour that over as well. I know you're seeing a trend here. It's so easy. It is that easy, you guys. And for this, I'm going to use the Zero Sugar International Delight Pumpkin Spice Coffee Creamer. It looks a little weird, but just mix it up. It's going to taste so good, you guys. Yes, it was that easy. Look how cute she is. This was one of my favorites. I actually stopped filming to drink it and enjoy it. It was so good. I enjoyed it. And it looks like little pumpkins at the bottom. Look at it. So, so easy. So fun. Kids love these too, you guys. So that is the pumpkin spice boba. Ooh, she's so happy and cute. Look at her. That cup came from Walmart from a gift set, a boba tea gift set they get at Christmas. All right, this is Monster Mash. I thought this was fun. David's Tea again. We're going to use their Monster Mash. This is pumpkin, cinnamon, a little bit of spice. It is really good. They came out with this one a couple years ago. I had a bunch and said, why not? And there's their limited edition spoon from a couple years ago. Again, we want to make it pretty concentrated. So I'm going to do about 3 David's Tea spoons into my cup. Again, making sure it's not going to be watered down. You want to have good flavor. And there we go. Just going to pour in my water. And we're going to set that aside. We're going to let that steep. That's an herbal. It can sit as long as you want. We're going to use the bright orange boba for this. Oh, look at that. It really looks like tiny pumpkins, you guys. I'm adding, you can add a little extra syrup if you want it a little more sweet. You'll start to learn what you like. Put your ice in. Again, pour that tea over. And then for this drink, we're going to have 2 options. You can do whatever, but I decided to go with silk almond milk for this. And I'm going to go ahead and mix her up. You guys could even put in some more of that pumpkin spice skinny syrup. Just play around with it. Do what you want to do. But look, is that not perfect for Halloween and the pumpkin season, you guys? It really looks like little pumpkins floating at the bottom. Tell me you're enjoying this as much as I did. I had to stop and drink this one too. It was so awesome. It was so fun. I just think this is perfect for parties, Halloween parties, gatherings, whatever. This one was probably one of my favorites. I love the way it looks. This one and the next one. But there she is. That is the Monster Mash. And finally, our Franken matcha. So I'm going to use the green tea boba with the matcha infusion there. And I'm going to put those in the bottom. Again, just showing you guys to play around with taste. If you guys want it a little more sweet, you just go ahead and you put in as much syrup as you want to. You do you. And that's what I'm doing here. Put in your ice. And I just mixed up some more jade leaf matcha in my David's Tea matcha maker. Just showing you guys that. Those are so convenient. I do love that. I do love that. And just pour that in as much or as little as you like. There's no right, there's no wrong way. And there goes our almond milk. She is looking cute. I think this would be cute if you guys used chocolate and made little Franken faces on your glasses. Tell me that would not be cute. Oh, this is a perfect little monster Franken drink. So, so cute. Look at that. And it really looks like little Franken brains at the bottom. That is the Franken matcha boba, you guys. I hope that you guys are enjoying this video. I hope that you guys try things out. Tag me on Instagram. Let me know. Remember, like and subscribe. I had so much fun making this for you guys. It was just a joy. Thank you so much. Also, let's talk about keeping these. Cover them, put them in your fridge for about a week, week and a half. You're gonna enjoy your own boba. Have a blessed week, everyone. Bye.